What's up, Tsla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the overall market. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. Anyways, I want to talk about some big news involving Tesla and President Trump. As you guys could tell, the market's trying to push amidst some big news that's come out, and thanks to Meta and Microsoft, which are pushing thanks to their nice earnings. But I also want to add that there was some big news affecting this market. So I'll talk about the news and I'll break down these charts. So we're seeing lots of headlines coming out that Tesla is denying the news about how the board is looking to replace Elon Musk. In the morning, when I was looking at the headlines, there were some headlines saying the old news that basically the board was trying to replace Elon Musk. And then there were other headlines saying that actually Tesla's denying it. But now the media is kind of like clearing that up, and they're making it very clear that Tesla's denying this and that Elon Musk is going to be coming back. Musk is going to be spending a lot more time with Tesla and less time with Doge starting this month, and that's some big news. So keep that in mind. That's been some good news for Tesla. On top of this, what's helping the market push is this data right here. So first and foremost, the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI was very close to expectations. Manufacturing numbers are looking quite good. Manufacturing employment is looking healthy. And then we also have new orders above expectations, which is not too bad. Only prices were like kind of close to what we saw from beforehand, but that's still not too bad. So I would say overall, decent manufacturing numbers. The market like that data. And then on top of this, there's some big news involving President Trump. President Trump said that he has potential trade deals with India, South Korea, and Japan as he's seeking to convert his tariff policy into trade agreements, according to lots of reports. So we'll see when they officially make these announcements. But keep in mind, this is some big news. President Trump mentioned that he's in no rush to conclude the deals because the United States is reaping the benefits of the tariffs, in his opinion. That's what he is saying, basically. And he also mentioned that China is doing a very, very poor job at the tariffs. And then he mentioned that once again, they're trying to negotiate and get things together. And he said that China's suffering because of this. And if they want to suffer less, they basically need to come up with a deal with the US. He is claiming that they're making a lot of progress with the deals. He's saying that China is negotiating despite the fact that officials are denying it. But the big news is that now he's naming the countries which should be pretty big so far. So India, South Korea, and Japan could be announcing some big trade deals very soon, and the market obviously likes this news as well. On top of this, President Trump was talking about his policies. He mentioned that, and this is what his quote is. President Trump said, "But I'm an honest guy, and we have to save the country when it comes to questions about whether or not his tariff proposals had a perception problem." He did mention there's going to be political risks of his efforts, but he remains determined to push on. And President Trump says that he is able to convince people how good it's going to be. He is admitting that the tariffs could be causing higher inflation, but he is saying that it's going to be worth it. He is saying that there is a perception problem. He's acknowledging that, but he is saying it's going to be worth it. Now, I'm not here to say if he's right or wrong. I'm just here to tell you that that's what he is saying. And a lot of the news that's coming from President Trump is helping the market as well. So, in essence, what's helping the market would be firstly Meta and Microsoft's earnings, which help the market push. Secondly, the fact that Tesla is, denying the reports that they wanted to replace Elon Musk. That's some good news. President Trump's trade deals, which he claims are coming very soon. He named some countries. That's even more bullish news. And then also our good manufacturing numbers is helping the markets. That's why we're up right now. Tesla pushed back up to about the 290 area. To be really bullish, you want to break 292 to push to 300. If you're bearish, you want to see us lose 275. As of right now, we're in the middle. So all Tesla's doing is going back and forth. We have tough resistance between 290 and 292. We have nice support around 275-ish. We tend to bounce around there. And as you could tell, we're just going kind of like back and forth right now. So we could see Tesla retest like 285. It's showing not as much strength as the market because typically when you have your indices being up 2%, you want to see Tesla up 4% because of its beta that's above 2.0. So in this case, Tesla's only up 1.8%. So it's still not as strong as it should be, but like I said before, it's okay, guys. We're still in the green at least. We might retest 285 and then just continue to consolidate like this. This is all I'm seeing for now on Tesla. But for now, I think we're going to be waiting to see what happens with Amazon and Apple's earnings after market close. Otherwise, Tesla's still in this consolidation phase. Now, SPY, on the other hand, is quite bullish. As you guys can tell, we're making higher highs and higher lows, doing a good job so far. We're still technically bullish. If you break this trend line, we could actually delete this wedge and kind of focus on it like this. We're doing a good job at holding up, at least so far. But the thing I want to mention about SPY is that there's a tough resistance near 564. If we break that, we could try to get closer to like 567. And to be bearish, you want to see us lose firstly 560. As of right now, we pumped very nicely, but I do want to warn you to be careful between 564 and 565 because it's going to be a relatively tough resistance. Now, to add on to this, I want to say that looking at the trend, although SPY is doing well at holding up, I'm also going to be very careful right here at this like 564 area because there was another time when SPY hit 570, got a big rejection. So I want to be very, very careful as we're pushing. We are technically bullish for now. We could go a bit higher, but you want to be careful as we get close to like 565. So keep that in mind, guys. Be careful with resistance on SPY. The triple Q, the QQQ is looking bullish, being led by Nvda and these tech stocks. We did talk about this yesterday. I said that as long as this data that comes out is not bad, the market will continue. So on the triple Q, we're looking for essentially 487 to 488 as resistance. If that breaks, we're looking for 490. And to be bearish, you want to see us essentially lose 483. So we're looking bullish. We could be trying to get closer to like 488, but be careful once we get close to about 488 and almost 490. I do think we could push more closer to 488, but be careful once we get to resistance. Overall, good job by the QQQ. The Russell came down, got a nice bounce with all the trade deals and such. So we're looking for 198 to 200 is a tough resistance. We could push a bit more on the IWM unless we end up losing 194. So keep that in mind. ES is bullish, getting very close to 5,700. We could get closer to 5,700. It is possible we test that. So look at 5,680 and 5,700. To turn back down, you want to see us lose 5,600 flat, I would say, is the first level I'd want to see us lose to turn back down. But we're looking bullish for now, and we could get closer to 5,700. NQ is looking bullish. We have this resistance right over here around 20,250. If we end up losing 20,000, we could be tipping back down to 19,600. Yes, but as of right now, still a bit more bullish. We could be pushing a bit more on NQ. For Bitcoin, we pushed to 97,500, which is a tough resistance. We'll see if we could break this or not. If it doesn't break here, we could turn back down towards like 96,000. Let's see how it ends up reacting to 97,500. Nvidia is pushing very nicely. We're approaching this 115 area. I was concerned about this 200 EMA, but we're actually holding above it. And I said we had to do that to remain bullish. So we're looking for 115 as our target, and we'll see how it ends up reacting there. Just be careful on Nvidia because there's tough resistance up there, but we're doing a good job. Apple dumped quite a bit with all the bad news, but now we're getting bought back up approaching earnings. We're looking for 213 as our target. We'll see if earnings launches this up or down. So we'll see about that. On Coinbase, we're in the middle right here. We did dip a bit only to get bought back up, so we're consolidating between 210 and 202. On Amazon, we're pushing a bit. We do have tough resistance at 193. If that breaks, we're looking for 200. If we end up losing 186, we're looking for a dip, so I could be looking for a retest of 193. Meta is looking quite good. We need to see if this could get back above 600. We did push close to 600 only to turn back down, so support's at 574. If that fails us, we'll turn even lower, so we're doing a good job so far. Microsoft is looking bullish, making higher highs and higher lows. We're looking for an attempt to get closer to like 440. So on the daily time frame, for example, you guys can see that we're very close to filling this gap. It could go a little higher to fill that gap. We're already up like 10%. We came very close to filling it, so there is still potential for it to go a bit higher. But if we reject, if we end up losing 425, I will be a little bit more concerned to be coming back down to fill this gap. So as long as we're above 430, we're technically still bullish on Microsoft. I just don't want to see us lose 425. Google could be pushing for 165. It's looking good as well. So far, buyers are defending, but we'll see what happens with the big tech earnings. Keep in mind that the VIX still has a gap to fill down to 22, so that still gives the market some room to try to go a bit higher. The buyers are defending and Tesla's trying to push, but be careful with Tesla because we're still technically range bound. We need to break 292 to turn more bullish, and if we end up losing 275, we'll turn back down. As of right now, we're in the middle between these levels, so give it some more time to develop. Anyways, that is it for my video. I thank you all so much for listening. Please have a good rest of your day, and I'll be back with another upload in just a couple of hours. Thank you for listening, and peace out.